Morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We are learning Mishna Kiddushin, Perek Beis, Chapter 2, Mishnah Vav, Mishnah 6. Okay. Hamakadesh Shtei Nashim Sheva Pruta. A person makes Kiddushin on two women with something that's only worth one pruta. Kind of a interesting case. A man does not have more than one wife. He goes over to two women, and he basically gives them together. He says to them, here's a pruta, and hare aten, behold, you are mekudeshes li, are mekudeshes, are betrothed to me with this thing that's worth a pruta, that not more. Which means how much did each woman actually receive? Half a pruta. Can you make Kiddushin with half a pruta? No, you can't. Oy isha achas b'pachas b'shava pruta. Or makes Kiddushin with one woman with less than a shava pruta. Af al pi sheshalach sivloinis. Even though afterwards he sent sivloinis, means bridal gifts. It means the practice was that after Kiddushin, the husband would send gifts to his wife. I mean, don't forget, it's Kiddushin right now. They're not going to have the Nesu and the Chuppah till almost a year later. So after the Kiddushin was done, there were certain gifts that he used to send. So now in this case, he made the Kiddushin with less than a Shava Pruta, which really doesn't work. And then afterwards, he sent gifts. He sent the husband gifts, which means he's acting like they are married, like there was a Kiddushin. Even though he sent the bridal gifts afterwards, she's not Mekudeshes. He did it because of the first, he sent them because of the first Kiddushin. That means like this. When this guy sends these gifts, it could either be that he's sending the gifts because he thinks they're married, because he thought that even giving less than a Sheva Pruta can work. So he thought they're married. Because he thought they're married, he sent gifts. Or perhaps what he's doing is, he knows that Sheva Pruta didn't work. And now the gifts that he's sending, he means for Kiddushin to happen with them. He wants the Kiddushin that should have been done before properly, done now, because those gifts are more than a Sheva Pruta. So we might think that when he's sending the gifts, he wants the gifts to be given for Kiddushin. And if you have two witnesses there, and they would be given over, one might think that it should work. Therefore, the Mishnah says, no, that's not our assumption. Our assumption is that when he sent these gifts, he doesn't mean to do Kiddushin with the gifts. He thinks that they're married, and he's sending gifts like the way any person who is Makadosh and Isha would send gifts. So since he's working off the first Kiddushin, which didn't work, and it doesn't mean for the gifts that he's sending now to be considered the new act of Kiddushin, at the end of the day, the halacha is she's not Mekudeshes. She's not going to be married to this person. Now, they bring down here, however, if he had in fact realized that the first Kiddushin was invalid and said that the gift should serve as Kiddushin money, they would affect Kiddushin as long as they are given in front of two qualified witnesses. Meaning if he says when he sends these gifts, right, that these gifts are your typical bridal gifts. So therefore the assumption is that he means it to be a bridal gift, not to do Kiddushin with them, but rather it's based on the Kiddushin he did before, which didn't work. But if he says that I want these gifts to be the Kiddushin, because he realizes the first Kiddushin that he did wasn't good. So now he says explicitly, I want this to be as for the Kiddushin that I should have made, that I didn't make properly before on this woman. I want these gifts to be the Kiddushin for this woman. And that's how they're delivered, and they're delivered in front of two witnesses. It would be good. And then the Mishnah concludes, V'chein katan shekiddush. The same thing applies to a katan who made Kiddushin. A katan means it's under bar mitzvah age. Now, we know that a girl under bas mitzvah or under could be married off by her father. The father can accept Kiddushin for her. There's no such thing, though, as marry of a katan doing Kiddushin. There's no such thing as a katan becoming married. He's not able, according to Torah law, to be able to affect the Kiddushin. So what happened? He made a Kiddushin when he was a katan. He made a Kiddushin when he was a minor. And then when he became an adult, after his bar mitzvah, he sent these sivloinis. He sent his bridal gifts to the woman he made Kiddushin on, to the girl he made Kiddushin on. So here too is the same discussion. Do we say that he sent those? Do we say that those bridal gifts are just gifts for the first Kiddushin that he made? He doesn't realize the first Kiddushin that he made didn't work. So now he's sending the bridal gifts because he thinks that they have Kiddushin. Excuse me. Or do we say that, this is meant to be a new Kiddushin, as we said before? The halacha is, it's the same idea. The same halacha applies. Even though now he's an adult, we still say that the gifts that he sent were based on the first active Kiddushin, which were done when he was a minor. Therefore, there was no Kiddushin, and there's no Kiddushin presently, because it doesn't mean to do another Kiddushin. But were he to say, after he became an adult, that he realizes that the Kiddushin that he made when he was a minor doesn't work, and the gifts that he's sending now are meant to be for Kiddushin, and he said that, and they were given in front of witnesses, then it would be able to affect a Kiddushin. Have a wonderful day, good moed, and have a wonderful Yantif. Class will resume in Mirza Hashem on Friday.
Thank you.